welcome. I'm Maddie Manga, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back again, then thank you for coming back to my videos. This is going to be just my manga haul for the months of May, June, and July. Although I'm going to be honest, I didn't buy any of the physical volumes during that time. They were actually all purchased before that, but I knew that my financial situation was going to be changing and that I wouldn't have any volumes to make future videos with. So I kept these ones aside so that way I'd be able to make a video a few months later, even if I didn't have the money to buy any volumes. I also have some digital volumes that I got, 11 of which I got for free during Kodansha's Volume 1's preview sale, and there were 3 digital volumes that I did buy myself during that time, but that's the only thing that I have actually bought out of pocket in that time, and I only bought them because they were on sale and it cost less than 1 volume of physical manga. So getting into it, I'm going to go through the physical manga that I've had sort of sat to the side for the last couple of months, and first up we have Comey Can't Communicate Volume 5. I'm really sorry about the lighting. There's not much I can sort of do about it, I don't think. Hang on. No, I'm sorry, I don't know how to put on the light on the phone or anything while I'm doing this. But, yeah, I have Comey Can't Communicate Volume 5. I do like this series. I haven't read this particular volume yet, but I have read up to this one. And it's about Comey, who is a girl who finds it hard to communicate with other people and talk, and her only goal is to make 100 friends. And she meets a guy whose name is escaping me at the moment, but he agrees to help her make friends, and it's just a sweet story. It seems to be very chill from what I've seen so far. Almost a little 4-coma-ish, but it doesn't sort of stay in that format the whole way through. It just sort of depends on the chapter. But yeah, that kind of, I really like it. So next I have Kami-sama Kiss Volume 7. This series has been an absolute pain to try and get recently. When I started getting back into collecting manga, I decided that this was one series that I wanted to try and finish, because I bought the first couple of volumes and the final volume a couple years ago, and I really wanted to try and get through some more of it and like have enough to like binge read at least a decent amount. And it's just been so hard. Every time I get a new volume, like the next one is always out of stock and I have to wait months for it to come back. And that's the problem at the moment. Like, I've got 7 and I have been looking to see if 8 ever comes back in stock, because it's one of those things you got to jump on when it's there. And I just have not been able to find it. For those that don't know, Kami-sama Kiss is about a girl named Nanami whose dad runs off because he's in a lot of debt and leaves her homeless. She ends up wandering to a shrine where she meets some yokai and a fox familiar. She ends up living at the shrine and taking over because I didn't explain that very well. During the time that she's homeless, she meets this guy who tells her to go to the shrine, and she gets there. She meets the fox who Tomoe, that's his name. Meets Tomoe, and he was the person that she met was actually the old master of the shrine, and Tomoe is his familiar, but he passed on the mark to her, and so now she takes over the shrine, and Tomoe is now her familiar. And it's a cute shoujo, but it's also got a lot of like supernatural elements to it, and she meets a lot of different kinds of yokai and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. I very much liked the anime, which is why I decided to start reading the manga. But I'm going to have to start the manga again, because I remember reading the first volume a couple years ago, but I haven't read it recently. I've just been trying to get enough volumes that there's enough there for me to read consecutively. But I might just have to give up and read it volume by volume as they come back in stock and I can afford them. But yeah, that's Kami-sama Kiss. Then I have Volume 5 of Blue Flag. This is another series that I'm not caught up on reading, but that I really enjoyed when I started. So I've read the first 2 and a little bit volumes, and I decided that I wanted to wait until I got a bit more of them before I started reading, because I wanted to binge it. I know that some people are disappointed with how it ended. I have no idea how it ended yet because I don't have those volumes. But I don't know. I'm still planning to stick it out and read it, even though some other people didn't enjoy it, because I think that I might either way. And if I don't, well, then I can just sell them off, I suppose. But I think that I'll enjoy it enough. One thing about Blue Flag is I think that these covers are absolutely gorgeous. Like, the art is really nice, in my opinion. So Blue Flag is about these friends. This girl over here, I'm sorry, I can't remember their names. It's been a while since I've read it. She has a crush on this guy, who I think's name is Mita or something like that. But he is actually gay and has a crush on his friend, but he doesn't know that and she doesn't know that, and she asks him to help her go out with him, but then he starts to have feelings for her, and then she has a female friend who has feelings for her, and it's like this big love square. This is actually a shonen romance, not a shoujo, so it doesn't have a lot of those typical tropes that shoujo does, which I like. It's got like a different feel to it, and I quite enjoy that. And as I said, the art is nice. I'm just trying to flick through and find something to show, but that doesn't look spoiler-ish. I don't know. It's hard to know exactly what's a spoiler when I haven't read it. Anyway, you get the point probably for me just flicking through it. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. But yeah. That's Blue Flag Volume 5. And the last physical volume of manga I have is Horimiya Volume 4. Now, talk about pain in the butt series to collect. Ever since the anime came out for this, it's just been impossible to get volumes. I managed to score this from Book Depot because I had I had it down to notify me as soon as it came back in stock, and I clicked it. I purchased it the second I got the email, and then by the afternoon it was gone again. So this is really hard to collect, and I'm actually considering possibly getting rid of the 4 volumes that I have and maybe just going digital just on this series, just because it's so difficult for me to find and collect here in Australia, and just it's quite expensive. Like, the volumes are about around like 20 to 25 Australian dollars a book, which I think is a bit much for this series. It just doesn't feel like it's worth that much, especially since there's quite a few volumes. I think there's 15 there's going to be total, and that's a decent amount. So I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe going digital with it, but I haven't decided yet. I'm going to read a bit more and see how much I'm enjoying it. If I'm really, really enjoying it, then I'll stick to physical and just wait it out until the volumes come back in stock. But if not, I might just go digital, because then at least I'll actually be able to get them and read them. Because like it's just impossible. If you go on like Amazon and stuff, like Volume 5 is going for like a couple $100. It's just insane. So Horimiya is about a girl named Hori who is like popular at school, very pretty and proper, but at home she's more like a housewife. She takes care of her younger brother because her parents are out all the time. Conversely, she becomes friends with a boy named Miyamura-kun, who is very, he's like the nerdy, dorky kid at school with long hair, always wears his jacket or stuff like that. But then she meets him outside of school and finds out that he's actually very different. He dresses in like, I don't know how to describe it, maybe like punk clothing, I don't know. But he's got tattoos and he's got piercings, and he's just totally different outside of school than what he is at school. And this sort of starts off a friendship between the two as they learn about how each other are different outside of the world of school. And I really liked the first volume I read, and I've been trying hard to get a few more. So now that I've got up to 4, I think I'm just going to read them and see how I feel about it, and decide if I want to keep going with it physically or switch to digital, because it's just so hard to collect. But I did enjoy it, and yeah. So that's Volume 4. So that's the end of the physical volumes I have. I do have 2 other books here though that I am going to show off. They're not manga, but they're close enough that I feel like there are people in this community who might also find this interesting. I have, sorry, I bumped the camera again. I'm so bad at this. Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Search. I haven't read this yet. I read The Lost Adventures and The Promise, which I also have. But I haven't gotten around to reading this one yet. Maybe this month I'll get around to reading it. So Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Search. This covers after The Promise, and this will cover what happens to Zuko. This is Zuko going in search of his mother, which I think is going to be super interesting. But yeah, these comics take place after the events of the Avatar: The Last Airbender series. But now that the companies sort of come back again, I'm wondering if they might start making these as a series as well. I kind of hope that they do. I think that'd be really cool. I don't know if I can show anything, if it'll spoil stuff, but yeah, Avatar: The Promise. And then the last physical book I have before I move on to my digital collections, it doesn't even fit. Hang on, let me just rest it there and then move this back. Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Art of the Animated Series. This I bought way back at the start of the year, and I've just sort of kept it tucked away and hadn't shown it yet. But it's really, really cool. It like has lots of concept art from the series, like lots of design sketches and character sketches, and lots of little bits of information about how they came up with the designs and stuff like that. And I find that stuff really, really interesting. Like, I love art books and commentaries on things. I really like to know how things are made. So yeah, I just thought that was super cool. And it was just something I needed to get, because I love the Avatar series. I think it's one of my favorite things. It's definitely my favorite cartoon series ever made that I've ever seen. Yeah, and I've watched it, I've rewatched it, I've watched Korra, and now I'm reading the comics. So yeah. And so now I'm going to move on to my digital manga. I'm just going to cut for a second. Okay, I'm back with my iPad to show you the digital volumes. I'm sorry about the way that the glare is sort of on the screen. It's just because I have a matte screen protector on it. So the 3 volumes I bought myself are these ones down here. We have Sweat and Soap, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. I'm going to be doing a first impression of Sweat and Soap very soon. I have it recorded. I just have to edit it together. So you'll get my first impression of that series. As you can see, I've read Volume 1 and 2. I'm not going to show any of the inside, I don't think. I showed a little bit in the first impression, but yeah, it's not one that you can sort of scroll through. There might be stuff in it that could get me in trouble on YouTube. And then the rest of it is just from Kodansha's digital Volume 1 free sale. So I got all the next volumes for free, and that's Attack on Titan Volume 1, Fairy Tail Volume 1, Space Brothers Volume 1, Devil's Line Volume 1, Chihaya Furu Volume 1, Days Volume 1, To Your Eternity Volume 1, which I'm actually really excited to read. I've heard such good things about it. So I'm really excited for that one. And because I love a silent voice, and this is by the same creator. Tokyo Revengers Volume 1, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro Volume 1, Those Snow White Notes Volume 1, Parasite, and Parasite Volume 1, which I actually didn't really need because my partner has the physical book, but I just thought I would download it anyway since it was free. So yeah, that's all the volumes I have this month. I also have the Viz Media 2021 manga sampler. That was a free download, so it just has a couple of first volume chapters. And I've just downloaded the preview for 7 days because I'm interested in getting it, and we just wanted to read the preview first. So yeah, that's my manga haul for what did I say? May, June, July. I didn't really get a lot of volumes. Unfortunately, I only bought 3 out of pocket. The rest I just happened to get because they were free. But that's just because that's what my situation allows at the moment. But hopefully things will get a little bit better soon, and I'll be able to get some more physical volumes. But thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like and subscribe. I also have a tip link through Streamlabs in the description if you'd like to help support the channel financially. And I'm just going to start including my Amazon wishlist. I don't know if it's going to be in the description of this video or in the next one, but I'm going to make that public as well, just so you have ways that you can support the channel if you'd like to. You obviously don't have to. Liking and subscribing is plenty. But yeah, I'm hopefully going to get around to reading all those first volumes as well sometime soon, and we'll be able to give a first impression on all of those series as well. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. And like if there's any volume in particular you're interested in my opinion on, Or if you're just interested in seeing those videos, subscribe so you can be notified when they come out. I have a whole schedule set up now, so I'm going to try and post more regularly. I can't guarantee that I'll stick to it because obviously stuff happens and I'm in study, so it just depends on when assignments are and stuff, but I'm going to try and stick to it as best I can. So thank you if you've supported the channel so far. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!